So I'm just going to throw in a true story now, or no, I'm sorry, a non-fable. So I want to tell you guys about a pretty inspiring athlete that has her place in Boston history. Her name is Katherine Switzer, and she is, well, I think you could say she is an athlete above all else. But she got her start as in running when she was quite young, and ran on the men's track team, on the men's track team for her local little college. They didn't have, she ran because she enjoyed it, but that was not like a popular thing for people to do. There was no recreational running back in like the mid-60s where she was. You know, the men's track coach saw that she looked pretty fast, and he needed one more person in order for his team as a whole to qualify for the next level of competition. So he grabbed her and said, you know, hey, run the mile. She ran it in under 6 minutes, and being at a very religious, conservative college, suddenly got a lot of hate mail. So, you know, they wrote, well, God will strike you down for, you know, for running with men, and this is unnatural. And she, it was such a formative experience. She decided to pursue sports more specifically, you know, more in a more targeted fashion, and also recognize that because of her gender, she wasn't going to have professional sports that she was interested in. She couldn't become a professional runner. She couldn't become a professional field hockey player. She would go into sports journalism, and she transferred to another college which offered that program. While she was there, she asked the track coach there if she could run with their team, as she had at her little religious college before. And he was kind of startled, but, you know, because he said no one had ever asked no woman had ever asked if she could train with the men's track team. But he's like, all right, whatever, you know, can't be official, it's against NCAA rules, but if you want to try and run behind us, sure, you know. So she, as soon as they started, though, she would be left in the dust, naturally, and she wouldn't even know where to go because she couldn't even see them anymore, and she didn't know the roads. So the postman for the university, who also trained the men, who was 50 years old and couldn't quite go as fast as them either, would run with her and became kind of her little, you know, they became very close friends. She at 19, he at 50. He was kind of beat up, but he taught her everything that he knew. One day she told him about the Boston Marathon, and he had been talking about it for a long time, and she said, you know, we keep talking about it, why don't we just do it? And he turned to her and he's like, what do you mean just do it? Like, you're a woman, you can't run a marathon. And she was really personally affronted. So, you know, they went on long runs every day together, and he didn't believe that she could do it. So after some time, he said, all right, prove to me you can run a marathon, I'll take you to Boston. He did, so she ran a marathon with him. They actually did 31 miles instead of 26, just to make sure. And then they went to the Boston Marathon. She was spotted, of course, for a woman. Boston Marathon was an all-male event at the time, but she was officially registered because they didn't recognize her gender on the application. She, the race director started getting made fun of by the photographers who had noticed her. He, having a violent temper, jumped off the van of photographers, ran straight for her, grabbed her by the back of the shirt, whipped her around, and said, what the hell are you doing in my race? Give me your number. He was very insulted that she would make a mockery of the Boston Marathon, which was, this was like 67, still a highly regarded race. Her boyfriend, the 235-pound field athlete, checked the race director into the crowd. Katherine thought that he had been killed and turned around, and the postman told her, like, what are you doing? Go run like hell, you know. We took care of the race director, so just go. So she ran the remaining 22 miles or so, because that was around mile 4. When she got there, they did not record her time. They took her entry away, and it was reported in the New York Times that she had not finished, simply because the reporter had filed the story before she had a chance to finish in about 4 hours. But ever since then, she has been an advocate for women's participation in all sports.